What's going on, my amazing retro squad? This is your boy Retro Quin, and today we got a review and on foot of the 2026 Air Jordan 3 True Blue. Yes, sir. We got them things right here, man. We're going to go ahead and start off with the box. We ain't wasting no time. We got a lot of pairs that's sitting on the shelves and stuff, but we're going to talk about that. But we're finna go ahead and get straight into the box. Y'all see that the Jordan brand, Nike brand. I don't know if y'all being lazy or what, man, but we want that that OG. Well, I guess you could say OG. I don't know. It like we used to it now, man, but the elephant print Air Jordan 3 box, man, we missing that. We need that, y'all. We missing that, man. So we want that back. But we got the regular OG old, face Jordan box right here. Nothing, crazy or anything with it. Regular tissue paper on the inside and all of that. So we ain't gonna talk about that, man. We're finna go ahead and get straight into the details and everything of the shoe. The official name of the shoe is the Air Jordan 3 Retro OG. Official colorway is white, fire red, and true blue. I did get these in a size 11.5, which is my size, but I will say, if you like a slim or like a narrow foot, you can go down a half size in these. I did stick with my true size because I have a little bit of a wider foot, so those are a little bit more comfortable for me. But definitely go down a half size if you have a little bit of a narrow foot. But color code and style number is IF4396104, and they're coming in at that hefty price point of $230, man. Jordan brand. Come on now. $230. We need to go back to like the 160s and 180s, what we used to, man. But we're going to put that box off to the side and we're going to go ahead and pick these things up and talk about them real quick. I already got that bust down shout at action on both of them, but we're going to put one off to the side. As y'all can already see, they do have like that I think like the paper Nike tag, or it's not really paper, but compared to the one that came out in like 2016 and some of the previous years, they had like the big bulky keychain. I don't think, I feel like I probably got rid of all of my sneakers that had the bulky keychain, like design on the side with the I think it was like a silver lock that you could have with it or whatever. But y'all should know what I'm talking about, especially a lot of the older sneakerheads and stuff. It was like an older tag that came with it, real clunky, making a lot of noise. But I'm personally okay with them switching over to this style. I done talked about it a lot before in the past, but I do like this a lot better. A lot more low profile. If you do want to keep it on your sneaker, you don't have to worry about it flapping around and making a lot of noise and stuff like that. So glad that they're still going with like the thinner, lower profile tag on the sneaker. But just getting back into like the sizing and stuff that I was just talking about, I did try these on foot, and once I put them on, they felt extremely comfortable. Like I've been saying lately, I don't know what Jordan brand and Nike doing with the technology and stuff, and like just the build quality of the sneakers and stuff, and which a lot of people have been talking about the quality control issues. My pair seems to be okay. And one thing to note is the elephant print design that's on mine. I personally like the other, I guess it's like cause it's two elephant print designs. You got this one, which is like a lot more lower profile and a lot more spaced out. And then you have the other elephant design that's, a lot thicker, a lot bolder, stands out a little bit more. And like I said, I like that one a little bit better, but You know, I'm not one to complain about like the elephant print or like those small details and stuff like that. Cause like I said, when you got the shoes on, rocking on, walking around and stuff, people just not paying attention like that, man. But another thing to note too is I want to say the original release on this sneaker was 1988, if I'm not mistaken. But you know, this is one that Jordan didn't wear. He predominantly wore like that Chicago colorway, white cement colorway, and black cement colorway. But he predominantly wore those colors. This was one of those like non-OG colorways that became really, really popular. So they give us like the Nike Air branding and, you know, just that overall Nike Air OG style treatment. But if I have some pictures, I'll go ahead and put them up and stuff. Kobe did wear these in the 2003 All-Star game, if I'm not mistaken. That's when him and Jordan was battling back and forth. But like I said, if I have some pictures, I'll make sure to pop them up somewhere. But that was a pretty cool moment. '03 Kobe, hey, earning them stripes, man, battling with some of the greats. Just kind of solidifying itself in the league a lot more. But he did rock these, and that was a pretty cool touch. But other than that, I don't think there's like any like iconic moments with these. I have a chart up as well, but they released like one, two, three, four. I'm gonna say at least about 6 or 7 times, and on which the latest release is the 2016 release. I do remember that one. I had actually just recently moved, and it was Black Friday around 20 it was Black Friday 2016 when these actually released, and I think they came in at like 220 or 225. So that back then, that's when they was giving like that premium Nike Air better quality treatment on a lot of sneakers and stuff. So that's what was getting that higher between 215 to 220 price point. But now we getting them standard for 230, might as well say. But like I said, a lot of people have been complaining about the quality and everything. Overall, like first glance, not doing anything like any magnifying checks or anything like that. I will say that my pair is, really good overall. I haven't seen like any crazy flaws. We do got the like the Widow's Peak right there on the end of the toe box, as you can see. But enough of that information. We're gonna go ahead and get to them straight details real quick. I know y'all done already seen these a lot, but we got the regular Air Jordan 3 bottom, got the red pod on the toe box, then we got the red Nike branding right here up towards the back heel area of the sneaker. Going straight up into the upper of the sneaker, you do see that true blue that's showing on the box. We got the regular air bubble that you can see. You should be able to see straight through it. Yep, I can see straight through it pretty clear. So this one, they didn't give us like that foggy or any type of colored look. They just gave us a clear air bubble that you can see all the way through, in which, of course, over the course of time, these will start like kind of darkening in where you won't be able to see through it. But that's what we're dealing with right now. And then we already talked about the elephant print design. That's one of the things that the Air Jordan 3 is pretty, famous or iconic for, if you had to say it. But they have the patented elephant print design on the toe box as well as the heel. And then you can see right here on the upper area, they do have that elephant print design on both sides. So real cool touch there. The shape and like just the quality of the shoe, in my opinion, and which I've stated this, plenty of times. Over the past few years, Jordan brand has been going with that lower profile look on the sneakers, kind of getting closer and, truer to that OG cut from all of the original releases. But I've been loving it though, because if I recall correctly, because I've sold my 2016 pair, but even on like the pull tab in the back, I think this pull tab used to come up a little bit higher and kind of rub on the back of your heels. If not, then I know that it used to be like that on the Jordan 4s, but I do like how they gave us like a lower profile right here. And then like just overall, you can see like just from if you want to say an aerial view, I remember back in 2016 and even earlier years, you'll get your threes and then they would be spaced out real fat, like, real thick material on the back of the tongue, and just like all of like your sock liner area just real big, thick and bulky, and then like all down here real chunky and stuff. And it was just a clunky shoe, and which y'all can see like if you go back and look at some of the older pictures, man, like just the evolution of the Jordan 3 and really all of the Jordans for that matter. But I do love how they have like the much lower profile design on the sneaker. But that's it for that though. And then we do have that all white upper all white leather upper all over the sneaker. Then right here at the bottom, towards the eyelets, you can see we have that touch of red just kind of popping out right there. So that's a good touch. I do like how they got the true blue right here in the middle as well. And then we have the true blue towards the top. Got your red Jumpman right here at the top of the tongue. And then, as we seen earlier, we do have the red, right behind the tongue of the sneaker. We do have red on the insole as well. Got the Nike Air branding that you can see right there on the inside also. And then we got the true blue sock liner. So, real good touches all over the sneaker. And, like I said, it really feels good to have a classic back in my possession. I had a period of time where I just wasn't wearing my sneakers at all. So I started getting rid of a lot of stuff, which I'm glad that I did, because around the time when I was getting rid of a lot of my sneakers in my collection, that's when the prices were, like a lot of the shoes still had really good value. And it was a lot of my sneakers that I either, never wore or might have had one or two wears, but they could, during their pass as a dead stock shoe. So a lot of my sneakers I was able to get off of, and like I said, it just feels good to be able to get a lot of these classic, like OG style colors and some of my favorites that I had in my collection years before. But it feels good to have these back in the collection, and at a much better, I guess you could say quality, but just the overall look of it. Because like I said, the lower profile look, I just absolutely love them. So it's great to have them in my possession and having that sleek design. But they are sitting. I think it's a week. Yeah, I'm recording this a week after the release, and I've already checked online on Hibbett, Foot Locker, Champs, a lot of the major foot sites. They literally got full size runs all the way through. So I honestly feel like this gonna be a shoe that's gonna really go on sale, and you don't have to rush and get it. If you want it, just be patient, and you'll be able to get it at a discounted price. And I don't know if StockX played a part in it or not, but even I think before release day, and even on release day, after release day, they had a lot of pairs that was below retail. So it's one of them things where, why would I get it for retail out of the store, pay more when I could just get the exact same thing for a much cheaper price on StockX. So I feel like a lot of people might have purchased theirs off of StockX, or maybe even some other websites, like aftermarket websites and stuff like that. But I can even remember in 2016 when these came out, they didn't sell good then either. In which I don't know if it had anything to do with that premium price, or if it was just the timing that they released these on. Because like I tell y'all, a lot of times, especially like towards that holiday time, I can't remember the Jordan 11 that came out that year. Maybe, let's see, was it? I don't think it was the Space Jams that came out, but I could be wrong. But a lot of times, around that time, people gearing up for that Retro 11 release. So I could see how back then this would be a shoe that people are kind of bypass, and which I can't remember what came out like before these, but I just remember this was one of those ones that was kind of caught in that crossfire. So people had a decision to make, like get these or pass on them and get something that I really, really want. And that's kind of what happened. But now it's just like these prices are, again, it's just too ridiculous. They too ridiculous. And especially if you can get these something that you really want for a much cheaper price somewhere else, I don't see why you wouldn't do it. And then that's leading to a lot of these sitting on a lot of the major foot sites and stuff. But like I said, these will definitely be going on sale. I wouldn't rush at all to get these. I know back to school coming up. If you want to grab them for your kids, go ahead and grab them. But if you want to do all your school shopping, and honestly, I'm probably say these will probably still be around like, Christmas time or something like that. So I'll probably say that'll be like the best time to get them, cause prices are, pretty much been done dipped maybe 20-30% off or so, maybe even lower. I don't know. You might even be able to find these at outlets, but I don't want to go that far just yet. But, just a real clean shoe. Like I said, I had to go ahead and get it, add it back into the collection. I personally, like, if it's a sneaker that I want, I don't like to wait for it to go on sale. I just rather go ahead and grab it, make sure that I got it secured, add it to the collection, so I don't have to worry about searching for sizes or anything later on down the line when they do go on sale. But for my people that like to bargain shop, definitely wait on these and you'll be able to get these in hand. But that's going to do it for the video. Y'all make sure that y'all let me know down below if you went ahead and grabbed these. Let me know if you still got your 2016 pair or an earlier pair that you decided to keep and didn't even worry about these. And I know people been complaining about the color. Let me know if the color threw it off for you and you just decided not to mess with them too. Because they did go a little bit lighter. I think these are closer to the originals that they went with on the color itself, but did definitely change the color. I know a lot of people were complaining about that, so maybe you pass on it due to the colors or anything, man. Y'all just let me know how y'all feeling about these overall. Are you gonna wait for them to go on sale before you grab them, or you just gonna pass on them all together? Because I know you ain't take that hot scissors in the air, like it's too many of them out there. But that'll do it for the video. Y'all make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay positive and stay smiling. And without further ado, this is your boy Retro Quin. I'm out.